Hey, Natalie here with the Modern Stitchery. I'm here. I've made it to Colorado. So if you're new here, we just moved from Texas to Colorado. And overall, everything went really well, really smoothly. The cats did great. The kids did great. My husband and I did great. As with any move, of course, you have little snafus, this and that. But overall, looking back, it went really, really well. So, just maybe 2 minutes on a quick life update on how that, a little bit more detail on how that went. I am in the new studio. I didn't realize how much more space I would get. I thought my last one was really big, and this one's really big, definitely wider and less narrow. So I have a little bit more room, which is great, and that's also because I'm in the basement, and a basement which is kind of crazy with a lot of light. I never had a basement before coming from the Gulf Coast, and yeah, so it's really, really nice. The movers came on May 1st and met them here, and my sister-in-law flew in a few days after we got here, and she was wonderful help. So the kids were still in Houston going to school, wrapping that up, and she helped me knock out the kitchen and my son's room, this little niche that we're calling the library, my studio, and we have recording of that, so I'll do a separate video for that. And yeah, and then she helped me in all these little pockets of the corner, and she was fantastic. So Jen, if you're seeing this, thank you so much. I love you. She just did a move herself last year from Texas to Pennsylvania, so it was really great having her previous experience help me here. So, and selfishly, I was really glad to kind of have her to myself and my husband without kids. So, you know, it's a different experience with adults when you've known each other with mostly kids, mostly the whole time. And so that was really nice. So selfishly, I was kind of happy about that, even though I do miss my nephews. Anyways, so what else? I did get some knitting, crocheting, and hand stitching, so some English paper piecing. I didn't do a lot of cross stitching. I did work on some of my DMC swatches. So if you haven't seen those, I'll show you those. I did, I think, like 5 or 6 of those. And what else? So on the reading front, I'll touch on that for just a moment. We listened to the audiobook of Dungeon Crawler Carl 3 on the way here. So we drove up Memorial Weekend, by the way. So I flew in May 1st for the movers, stayed here a week to unload, flew back, and then came at the end of the month with the kids and family and everything for the final hoorah. So for the drive, we listened to Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I love audiobooks, but I struggle focusing, so I still like to read the physical copy. So I am 30% of the physical copy, but we did finish number 3 and we started number 4. What else? Haven't really read anything else. I will be heading back to Houston for a week, just over a week actually, maybe 10 days. And I wanted to get a recording in, so this may be, as usual, a bit chaotic, sporadic. I'll try my best to make it organized, but I needed for myself to get something out before I left. So as I mentioned, I'll show you some of my WIPs, and I have, on the knitting side, I have 2 new starts. I all of a sudden had a wild hair after working on my WIPs on my last video. I really wanted some summer tops. So after finishing the tank, the number 9 camisole, I was just itching to start a couple more. So I did. I started 2 more. Trying to think. On the boring side, it is more petite knit. I just had a bunch of petite knit patterns I hadn't even tried, and so they've been on the backlog, so they are petite knit. So if you're burnt out by petite knit, I don't blame you. I'm almost burnt out. There are a couple other patterns I do want to try, but I know a lot of folks out there have been knitting a lot of her stuff. What else? I did buy some new yarn from Knit Picks. for my son's blanket, I'm knitting him a blanket, not knitting, crocheting him a blanket. He picked the pattern and the yarn. I've gone through like all the kids in the family, crocheting the blankets, and I've kind of gone through everybody. So now I'm back to my son. There's this Lego blanket that I made him when I kind of got back into it, and it's fallen apart. I do want to try and repair it or redo it, but in the meantime, with him turning 18 this year, I was like, well, let's make a not a more adult version, but because Legos for everybody. I mean, I have Legos, but just something that he picked out and wanted, because the Lego one, I picked it out because he was too little. So I do have that coming. Hopefully I'll show you that. Maybe I'll have, is the yarn here? I think the yarn's here. Maybe. Either way, you'll see it at some point. So, okay, let me pull up the WIPs and I'll be right back. Okay, so first up is crochet granny squares. I might have mentioned this, and I tried doing a separate project video for this. I don't know if that's going to be a success or not. We'll see. It's an attempt. But in the meantime, I thought I'd show you the squares. So I have a whole bag here of all the squares. This is the, I believe it's called the Sunburst Granny Square. And I'm using 2 advent calendars for this one. One of them was Chelsea Yarns, and I think one of them for sure is Chelsea Yarns. The other one I think is Suburban Stitcher, but one of them is a fade. The other one may have been a fade. It was hard to tell. But each mini, I was able to make 2 squares. I know this is 2 different ones, pretty sure. Oh, here's 2 of the same. So I was able to do 2 before blocking. I think they measured to about 3.5 inches. And then at the end of almost every one, I have this much left. I haven't weighed it, but I have that much left. And I think I'm going to do some sort of scrappy blanket with all these scraps, because this can definitely add up with all the little bits and bobs that I have from the project. So I have it right now. So the finished, first I had all the yarn wound up that I hadn't done in this bag, and then I had a working bag. And now that I have a lot of squares done, I've been throwing them in here. And in case you're curious, it is a button jar studio bag. I've had my eye on this bag for years, ever since she came out with them, and I finally got my hands on one. So this is, I have medium or large, I think it's a medium in this color, and then I have a small one in black. But anyways, I've enjoyed working out of this bag. And let me see, anything else about the crochet squares? I don't think so. Yeah, no, I've been 2 fingering yarn, held double, and yeah, it's been, there's these little tricks I've been doing to where you hopefully can't tell where I start and end, because I know sometimes whenever I worked in the round with crochet, you'd be able to kind of tell using, chain stitches for double crochet. I don't use that. I use some random doohickey stitch. It's a faux double crochet. If you're interested in that, I'd be happy to share. But yeah, definitely, in my opinion, I think it makes a much cleaner square. And then I got some tips from, if I remember her name, I will put it in, but she does the pattern a little bit different at the beginning, the way she joins, to also make it look more seamless. And I thought it was really, really well done. And so I definitely applied that in this. And I'll definitely be applying that to future projects that I make. Okay, that's enough about the Sunburst Greenie. I think this will come out to almost 100 squares. That'll be a big blanket. So I do need to pick out a neutral yarn to join them all together. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet, but I have time to figure that out. So, okay, I know I showed these in my last video, but I did make some progress on them. No progress keepers. Oh, be better about that. But here's the sweater so far. I did work on, this is petite knit, no frills. I'm making this quite large. I wanted it to fit like a boyfriend's sweatshirt, I guess is what you would call it. I don't know, but I wanted it to be nice and baggy and bulky. And I started on the ribbing. I don't know if I was there last, but I made a bit of progress there. And I think a few more rows and then I can get to the sleeves, and I'll be on Sleeve Island for a while, I'm sure. So there's that. And then another petite knit. Anchors sweater. So this is the sweater as well. My mom finished hers pretty quickly. She has this beautiful hot pink magenta one. And I think, yeah, I'm on the body. So, and if I can find it, the other one that I started, the summer one, is one of the anchor, so the anchors sweater, but the summer knit. And I'll talk a bit more about that when I run across it. Hopefully I can find it. But another gorgeous one. I'll have all the details here. I don't have it all on hand. I'm sorry, but I'll definitely pop it here because I know I mentioned it last time. So I'll have that there. Beautiful. Love it. I can't wait to wear it this fall and winter. That'll be fun. So I do have them here together in the same bag, which I'm sure I talked about before, but if you're new, pop a comment and I will share that with you. Here, I can at least show this is for the pink one. So Julie Aslan, Les Yeux DK, and Romance, I believe. Yes, Romance. So gorgeous. I love how it sometimes comes off purple, like a lilac color, and then sometimes it's pink. I mean, it's just depending on the light and how you look at it. And of course it's hand dyed, so I'm sure that's part of it too. So that's on the sweater front. Okay, another knit, but the summer one that I was talking about. This is the Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit. And this one was kind of unplanned as far as I bought the yarn at Hill Country Weavers before they closed their doors. And I saw this Sadness Garn, the tin line, and I just heard so much about it and needed to try it. So I bought, I think, 5 skeins and looked up when I started to have that itch to do a summer knit. I pulled this out and searched in Ravelry, and the Cumulus Tee popped up, and I already had the pattern. So that's where that's coming from. So it's definitely taking a while because of how small the needles are. I believe 2.5 millimeter. Hopefully the clinking, I'm sorry, isn't too loud for y'all. And I just joined in the round, and I'm finally just going around, so because of the V-neck. I do have a few, oh my gosh, I think I got less than 1 row here. One was starting fresh yarn, almost right at the join, like, so I did 1 ball of yarn all the way up until the V came around, and then my cats got into it, both of them. So I had to rejoin twice. So fun. I love them. I have to remind myself how much I love them. But this yarn, as you're working with it, as with most linen-based yarns, this is a nice blend. It was a little tough to work with. Also, I'm a tight knitter, so I know that has a lot to do with it. But as I'm feeling it now, it is so soft. I'm really looking forward to wearing this and maybe even knitting with it more. It is very splitty, so if you haven't worked with this, you can kind of see how splitty it is. So, and the blend is cotton, viscose, and linen. So only 14% linen and 53% cotton. So that's also why it's a lot softer, to be fair. So it's been great. It's on my Hayas and really, really nice. It is a bit, maybe see through the wall here, a bit see-through. I'm sure, I think with just a bra will be fine, but usually with my knits, I wear a tank or a tee underneath, so I don't have to wash them as often. And also the whole see-through factor. All just a comfort thing for me. No judgment to those that want to show off their skin. Kudos. I'm kind of jelly. So I have this in an old like previous, I don't think they sell them anymore, but in this Pastrico bag, I have 2 of these. I love how nice and long, and then I can just roll it up and fold it. So let me see where else. Pattern in there. I can't find the other tee. I don't even remember if I kept it with me in Houston or if I packed it for the movers. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. Okay, I'm not going to pull them out, but because I mentioned it, these are the DMC swatches that I'm making. I probably got about, it was over here, I think, about 6 or so done. So these were the ones I had prepped, ready to go. And yeah, so it's on a previous video, or if you have any questions about these, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. But I did make some progress. I'm filling this up kind of nicely. We'll see how many of these it takes, because I only have 3 boxes. The other sewing thing, again, I won't get it out, but I do want to show it. I did make some really good progress on my English paper piecing. I think I got 2 more strips done, maybe 2.5. And so I'm getting close, and I can tell by how empty the case is getting. So that's really exciting, and I really need to start thinking about what else am I going to put in it. So I don't want it to be all of the hexes. I want to embroider or cross stitch something in between, somewhere in the middle for this. So this is, if you don't know, it's going to be a stitchy stand cover. So I have a Lowry stand with some stretcher bars, and when I have it out when I'm stitching something, because of the cat hair and dust and all the things, I want to have, I've been using a pillowcase, and I would like something nice. And so I love doing what I call crossovers. So stitching my, making the thing for my makes, for my hobbies, like making my project bags, making covers. So a lot of folks out there like that. So I think some of y'all get it. And I'm also kind of, I don't want to say picky, but finicky about like the colors and fabric. I'm a little quirky about that. I like everything kind of not matching, but cohesive across all my makes and all my things. So that's something you'll probably, if we get to know each other more, or you get to know me more, you'll start seeing that as a pattern for sure. So that's that. Something else I did work on while we were in purgatory, living at my in-laws' house between the 2 homes. Very grateful for them, by the way. So purgatory, I don't mean that in a negative way. Just not having everything on hand on our stuff. But I made a bit of progress, I think, when I showed this last. So I finished the pink. Maybe I already showed this, and if I did, I'm sorry. But I finished all the pink, and then now I need to pick another color to go across, or decide if I want to do the same color. I may not have enough. I think that may be why I stopped, to do the same color, and I might want to do the same color. But either way, I did gift my mom and my mother-in-law some Sashiko tools. My mom's already been hooked on it for a while, so I got her some new threads and a couple more stamplers. And then I got my mother-in-law a kit to try and see, because she loves, she does a lot of machine sewing, and I know she's been wanting to get back, like into, not back, but maybe like try another hobby, maybe in the same wheelhouse. And I thought it might be something she'll enjoy, since it's, it can be fairly easy and simple, and I don't want to say mindless, but meditative. So did make some progress there. And actually, while I'm here, I'll show you a couple of the ones. I may have mentioned that same sister-in-law I brought up. She went to Japan and got me a lot of samplers, and then I got some more. So I got this leaf one here, and then the cherry blossom. And then for the leaf one, I don't think I have the thread in here, but I got this gorgeous, oh yeah, here it is, this gradient kind of green that I want to try. Try not to move too much because of the wrapper, but I think this thread will be stunning for the leaf one. So we'll see how that goes, but later. So that's it on the Sashiko front. I still can't find that crochet project. Not the crochet project, the knitting top. It's a teal cotton. Oh my gosh, if it's lost, I'm gonna be really upset. but it's somewhere. It's not lost. It's just misplaced. Okay, I'll keep looking. If not, I'll come back and wrap things up. Okay, so I can't find it. That's okay. I'll have something to show next time. And thanks for hanging around. And I know it's been a little while, but appreciate your patience. And things will probably continue to be a little bit chaotic. I think they'll get better over time, but maybe I just need to stop saying that, and it is what it is. So yeah, thank y'all for being here, and I'll see y'all next time. Happy Pride Month.